Okay guys, Module 6, Lesson 12, moving right along here. Today we're going to be adding tenths and hundredths by applying understanding of fraction equivalence. Alright, here we go. I already do have some of my video prepared, so you'll just have to maybe pause a couple times to catch up. Alright, the first one we're going to add is 3/10 plus 4 hundredths. And I feel like some of you already might know how to do this, but this just kind of breaks it down a bit. We are going to go ahead and use a place value chart with discs to solve this. So we have 3/10. So I'm going to go ahead and put 3 place value discs in my hundredths, and then I'm adding 4 hundredths to that. 1, 2, 3, 4. So the question is, well, how do I add these? They have different units. Remember, if I had 3 girls plus 2 students, I can't add those because they don't have like units. I have girls, I have students. I can't add 3 girls and 2 students. But if I got the same units, then I could add them. If I turned those girls into students, I could add students plus students. So what should I do here? Can I turn tenths into hundredths? Well, the correct answer is yes, I can turn tenths into hundredths. I can exchange 1/10 for 10 hundredths. I can exchange another tenth for 10 hundredths. And I can go ahead and exchange that last tenth. Okay? Now, all together, we have 30 hundredths here, right? Plus I already had 4. So I'm going to rewrite that equation as 30 hundredths plus 4 hundredths. Okay, and that's going to give me, now that I have hundredths and hundredths, I can add the numerators, 34 hundredths, and write that as a decimal. 34 hundredths. Now, place value charts can take quite a bit of time. Some of you might still be working on your discs, and that's just not always the easiest way. But that's the way of showing you why is 3/10 equivalent to 30 hundredths. Really just kind of remembering those steps. If we go on to the next problem here, we have 3/10 plus 13 hundredths. And right away you'll notice that we can't add tenths and hundredths because they're not the same unit. So we're going to go ahead and convert to make equivalent fractions. Okay, right away, you guys know 3/10, I can multiply top and bottom by 10 and get 30 hundredths. Okay, so 3/10 is equal to 30 hundredths. 30 hundredths, okay, right, because they're equal, plus my 13 hundredths, okay? I renamed, I have same units, hundredths, hundredths, now I can add, and I get 43 hundredths, and in decimal form, 43 hundredths. Okay, simply just turning that tenth into a hundredth, turning that tenth into a hundredth, so we can add. All right, last one that we're going to practice, okay? Again, I'm going to turn that 6/10 into 60 hundredths, so I have same units, plus my 57 hundredths. Okay, and I'm going to get something hundredths. Okay, now if you step over to the side, I expect you guys to show your work for this. You get 7, and 6 plus 5 is 11. That's 117 hundredths. But we're not going to leave it like this. Okay, if you remember those number bonds, we can do 100 100ths, right? Pull 100 hundredths out, and we're left with 17 hundredths. That's going to equal 1 whole and 17 hundredths. And of course, we want to write that in decimal form. 1 whole and 17 hundredths. 1 and 17 hundredths. Okay? All right, get to work on the problem set.